Good morning, my name is Amy Hayes. I'm the Employer Engagement Team Leader here at Yeovil College. I oversee the Apprenticeships team. I'm a former business apprentice myself and incredibly passionate about apprenticeships. So I'm really pleased to be able to take this opportunity to tell you a bit more about our business and management apprenticeships here at Yeovil College. So Yeovil College typically has 1,000 apprentices on programme at any one time. Those 1,000 apprentices are spread across 450 different employers of all sizes. There are currently around 692 apprenticeship standards available for delivery, and Yeovil College offers around 60 of those. We offer standards from level 2 right the way up to level 6 at degree level. But there are also options to do apprenticeships right up to level 7, which is master's degree level. So what is an apprenticeship? An apprenticeship is a real job with hands-on experience. You'll be working towards your chosen career path, getting real-world experience whilst you're employed and supported by a company throughout. You have exactly the same rights as any other employee, so you'll be paid a wage, you're entitled to sick pay, annual leave entitlement, any kind of parental leave, that sort of thing that is applicable to any other employee, you will receive as an apprentice. Off-the-job training is a critical part of any apprenticeship. So off-the-job training essentially helps you gain the knowledge, skills and behaviours required of the apprenticeship standard. That typically looks like a minimum of 20% of your paid working hours that need to be spent on training. We do usually suggest that it needs to be a little bit higher, but 20% is the minimum. Now, off-the-job training can take the form of college attendance, but it's also training in the workplace. So any shadowing and mentoring that your employer does to get you up to speed with your job role and your apprenticeship, that absolutely counts. So does any kind of role-specific CPD. Anything that you need to do your job better, that counts as training, so you can record that. As part of your off-the-job training, you'll also build a portfolio of evidence. So that's usually a combination of assignments, task write-ups. Some apprentices submit photo evidence for their portfolio as well, but it does entirely depend on both the apprenticeship you're doing, but also the setting you work in. So if you work in construction, it's perfectly fine to do kind of before and after pictures of a house you're building, less so if you're working in healthcare or something like that. So it very much depends on the industry you work in as well. You'll also have a dedicated assessor throughout your apprenticeship who will support you with your training. They'll be your first point of contact. They will kind of give you all the guidance and support that you need to achieve the apprenticeship. They'll prompt you on what you need to do when for your portfolio. They'll answer any questions you may have. You might have a meeting with them where they're genuinely just delivering some of that apprenticeship knowledge, skills or behaviours to you. English and maths is also a really important part of apprenticeships. So most for apprenticeships, if you don't have a GCSE grade 4 or C or above or other equivalent qualification when you start, then you will need to do it as part of your apprenticeship. Now, that takes the form of block weeks at Yeovil College. So you'll do 1 full week for English, 2 full weeks for maths. Functional skills level 2 is equivalent to a grade 4 or C pass at GCSE. So once you've achieved that, you don't have to do it again unless you particularly choose to. Now, what I will say on this point is that some apprenticeship standards, we do require you to have those minimum qualification levels already. There are some that we have a little bit more wiggle room with, and your employer would also need to be on board in supporting you through the functional skills element as well, because they have to pay to release you to come and do your English and maths. But there are many employers out there who will do what it takes to support their apprentice. Finally, at the end of the apprenticeship, you have an endpoint assessment. Now that can be thought of like the driving test of the apprenticeship. So it's not done by your Yeovil College assessor, it's done by an independent endpoint assessor. So that ensures that everybody is passing to the same standard. That endpoint assessment is usually split into 3 parts: a multiple choice online exam, some kind of practical observation or practical skills application, and a professional discussion. The nice thing about the endpoint assessment is that we will say when we think you're ready for it, but we can't put you forward for that unless you and your employer also agree that you're ready. So the chances of you going into that endpoint assessment and passing are pretty high. So what are the benefits of an apprenticeship? Probably the most obvious one is that you get to earn while you learn. So the current national minimum wage rate for an apprentice in their first year is £5.28 per hour. That rate applies to anyone in the first year of their apprenticeship. When you're in that second year, if you are also 19 or over, the national minimum wage rate for your age applies. That said, there are a lot of employers out there who will pay more than the national minimum wage rate for apprentices. So it doesn't mean that just because you're an apprentice, you're going to be on a low wage. So throughout the apprenticeship, you'll obviously gain job specific, but also transferable skills. So your employer will support with your training relevant to your apprenticeship, but it will also be relevant to the industry you're working in, your job role, and also how your specific employer chooses to do things. So that is the beauty of an apprenticeship from an employer's point of view. They get to train you as they would like you to work in their company. So apprenticeships also contain nationally recognised qualifications in a lot of cases. So you might get a diploma or a degree, HNC, HND as part of your apprenticeship. It entirely depends on the route of apprenticeship that you take. You'll also advance in your chosen career and you can progress to higher level apprenticeships or higher education once you've completed your apprenticeship. You're increasing your future earnings potential because you're working towards a qualification and the next steps in your career while you are actually still working and earning. And I think the best thing about an apprenticeship potentially, well, from my point of view anyway, is that there are absolutely no course fees for you to pay. Even for degree level study, you as the apprentice will not pay a penny of that. The course costs are either covered by the government or your employer or a combination of the two. So you could study a degree and walk away with absolutely no student finance debt whatsoever. So our offer here at Yeovil College, it ranges from level 2 to level 6 in business. So we start off with a customer service level 2, which takes 15 months plus the endpoint assessment period to complete. Customer service apprentices will provide high quality customer service, act as a responsive point of contact and a support mechanism for the wider team. It's a really good entry point for people that are looking to work in administration but have never done so before. You don't have to your job title doesn't have to be customer service representative or something like that. It could be that kind of entry role into an office environment. From there, many people choose to progress to business administrator level 3. So a business administrator works within various departments within the organisation as a critical support. That is actually how I started out in my career. I started out as a business admin apprentice. I worked with a range of departments, got a good all-round experience. And then from there, when I finished my apprenticeship, I was able to work out which area I wanted to specialise in. As part of that apprenticeship, you'll also take the lead on a project. So that could be organise an event. It could be leading on a new process implementation or rolling out a new piece of software for the company. Whatever that looks like, that will be relevant to your role and it will also be really beneficial to your employer as well. We then have Information Level 4, which is a relatively new programme for us here at Yeovil College. We've been running it for about 18 months. So an information manager supports the delivery and management of critical information in the delivery phase of an infrastructure project. You'll interact with a broad range of stakeholders and manage information and data as it moves through its life cycle. So that's a really nice and quite natural progression from business admin level 3. It isn't relevant to absolutely every job role and sector out there, but it does cover a wide range. So we have apprentices on that standard that work in councils. We've got some that work in kind of engineering and manufacturing companies. We've got apprentices that work for large national construction companies as well. So you can kind of see the kind of variety of job roles within that. We also have Improvement Practitioner Level 4. So as part of that standard, you'll be leading change across an organisation within functions or processes. You'll be supporting on larger projects or taking the lead in smaller projects, and you'll ensure compliance with relevant legislation and standards. Now, that one is a little bit more specific to your job role. So it might be that not everyone's job role covers that apprenticeship standard. It does contain some of the Six Sigma principles, so it is kind of very improvement focused, but it's a really interesting standard. We now move on to our leadership and management offers. So we start with Team Leader Level 3, which is designed for aspiring supervisory or first line managers. This standard offers a broad range of knowledge ranging from team leading to project and resource management. That's really ideal for people that are really good at their day job and they're taking on more responsibility. They want to progress to a middle manager in the future, and they're just taking their first steps on the line management ladder. That will provide some context, some underpinning knowledge as well for you to be able to do your job confidently, and also, you know, ensure that you're doing things properly as well. There's no college attendance involved in that apprenticeship standard, so the assessor will come out to you in the workplace, so you can get really hands-on with that apprenticeship. At level 5, we then have operations or departmental manager. Now that is aimed at middle managers and departmental managers. You'll focus on core management skills such as managing resources, recruitment, information management. It also goes into kind of performance management and tackling some of those difficult conversations. You'll do managing change. You'll do quite a lot of analysis around your stakeholders within your role, and what you need to do to kind of get the best from them. And as part of that, you'll also gain the Chartered Management Institute Level 5 Diploma in Leadership and Management. Speaking from personal experience, I've actually done that qualification. I found it incredibly beneficial. It coincided nicely with me starting my first role as a line manager, so it gave me some of the kind of background knowledge and some of the kind of theoretical models that actually I apply in my job now, but it's given me the confidence and some of the context, I think, to move forward with my team and get the best from them. Finally, we have Chartered Manager Level 6, which is a degree apprenticeship. That is developed for more senior managers who have responsibility to translate organisational strategy into effective performance. As part of that, you'll get a BA Honours degree in Business Management and Strategy. So that's a prime example of doing an apprenticeship but getting a genuine degree out of it as well. You will come to Yeovil College 1 day a week for that apprenticeship, and you'll study at our Yeovil College University Centre for that. That one is a bit longer, but you'd expect that with the nature of the degree. So that is our business and management offer in a nutshell. It's a bit of a whistle-stop tour, so I appreciate there might be some questions. If you do have any questions, please do reach out. You'll find my contact details there, or you can contact us directly at Yeovil College at any point. Alternatively, if you'd like to find out a little bit more about some of the courses we offer, have a look on our website. If you find one that you like the look of, you can apply for it through the website, and then we'll be in touch to discuss next steps. What my team and I do is we also work with employers and individuals to work out which route is the best for you. So if you know that you are looking to progress, but you're not sure which route is best for you, or whether you're ready for an apprenticeship, or actually maybe there's alternative training to get you where you need to be, please do reach out. We'd be more than happy to have that conversation with you. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you found it useful, even though we've flown through it quite quickly, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.